Welcome back to Capitol Hill. I'm your host Adam Preston with the final election results from the 2018 election. Before the break, we left 4 Senate races still too close to call, as well as a heavily contested House election. To recap, we have seen 5 seats switch hands, 2 going to the Democrats and 3 going to the Republicans so far. Among these are Joe Donnelly in Indiana and Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota, both of which are from a group of Democratic incumbents in conservative states. Also in this group is Bo Bennett, who is seeking to replace Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. This West Virginia race has received a lot of national attention since the beginning of this election, and the results so far reflect that. With over 80% of precincts reporting, this race in West Virginia remains too close to call, with only a couple thousand votes separating the 2 candidates. Throughout this election, the Democrats actively went after the Republican base of nationalists and evangelicals, forcing the Republicans to focus on campaigning to their own base while largely ignoring the Democratic base. This is a theme that we saw play out in numerous races this year. Democrats often tried to focus on winning nationalists and evangelicals, which put the Republicans on the defensive from the very beginning. But will this strategy be enough for the Democrats to improve their standing next Congress? Let's find out. And we're just now getting word that we're able to call 2 of our remaining Senate races. In Virginia, Senator Tim Kaine has been defeated by his very conservative Republican challenger. This result is certainly good news for President Fitzgerald, as the new Senator-elect Corey Stewart is expected to be a key ally for his agenda. All through these elections, the Democrats were thought to be in the lead in the state, but a pair of last-minute Tier 3 ads purchased by the Secretary of State Walter Reed and Vice President Marcus Walker was enough to flip this seat. Now, there are 2 notes to take away from this result in Virginia. First, campaigning in a state that has previously largely been ignored is able to swing the polls much easier than campaigning in a state that has already been heavily contested. Second, we learned that in almost all cases, ads will outperform rallies on the campaign trail. However, before the Republicans get too excited about winning this unexpected seat, let's turn our attention to Texas, where the Republican incumbent Ted Cruz is facing a very tough re-election challenge from the veteran of the Iraq War, Mark Ramber. With 77% of precincts reporting in, we're calling this race for the Democrats. As previously discussed in the West Virginia race, the Republicans found themselves competing for their own base in conservative Texas, while being out-campaigned by the Democrats for all groups except moderate liberals. In Texas, this was a losing strategy, but will we see similar results in West Virginia? Stay tuned to find out. And we're now able to make another call in the state of Ohio. Similar to Virginia, the national parties did not focus on Ohio as much as one might expected, opening the door for Republicans to make it a lot tighter race than previously expected. In fact, we can now call this state for Republican Jim Renacci, as he seems to have defeated Senator Sherrod Brown by around 50,000 votes. Now that's just less than 1% margin of victory. This is the 5th seat that the Republicans have been able to flip, giving them a +2 advantage so far. If the Republicans are able to win in West Virginia, they're looking at a 55-seat majority in the next Congress. As we're waiting for those results in West Virginia to come in, we're finally now able to make a call for the highly anticipated House race. The Democrats have captured the House. While this is perhaps a Democrat's saving grace, they're still facing an uphill battle. It seems that they will have one of the smallest majorities in recent memory. With just a handful of seats, there's little room for error for the Democrats' next session. Particularly for a party that has prided itself on having a diverse group of members, including undeniable moderates and conservatives like Mark Ramber, Alex Truborowski, and even former Minority Whip John Alexander. Will the Democrats be able to unify to finally prevent the Republicans from passing such controversial conservative legislation as we saw in the last Congress? We'll find out. And finally, we can now make a call in our final Senate race tonight. In West Virginia, we saw two former governors going against one another to retain the Democratic seat. As we discussed previously, this race has gotten a lot of national attention and was primarily fought over four demographic groups: nationalists, evangelicals, moderate conservatives, and moderate liberals. And as we saw before, the Republicans have allowed themselves to be put on the defensive by campaigning toward their own base. And again, just like in Texas, this seems to have been a winning strategy for the Democrats, as Bo Bennett has been elected to represent West Virginia in the Senate for the next 6 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this sets the Republican majority in the Senate to 54 seats, compared to just 46 for the Democrats. However, the Democrats will undoubtedly consider this election an overall success, as they were able to pick up dozens of House seats to capture a small majority. So the battle lines for the 116th Congress are established. As the Republicans seek to build on their great successes last Congress, Democrats finally have a lever of power, albeit a very precarious one. Can the Democrats remain unified and take advantage of their razor-thin majority? Only time will tell. As always, we'll bring you the latest from inside the Beltway, right here on Capitol Hill with Adam Preston. Capitol Hill is a free government simulation. Come play our game at TedderVision.com/Capitol Hill. I'm Adam Preston saying goodnight. We'll see you next time.